Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Happy Friday to you. Hopefully you guys are recovering well after many celebrations and remembrance and emotional ups and downs that's been going on for the past couple of days, maybe even the whole entire week. So what I am doing today, I just said, you know what, screw it, I'm coming on early. And we're going to work on a basic review that is going to hit on a lot of the algebraic components. So this is almost like a little introduction to what I'm going to be starting tomorrow, which is going to be my drop-in sessions. So tomorrow we're looking at the GED. On Friday we're looking at the ASVAB. And then on Monday it's going to be an alternative between ASVAB and GED. But this one, if you're currently in a college algebra class, or if you're planning on getting your GED, maybe you're looking at the ASVAB, maybe your TEAS test, maybe your IBEW, the algebra component of it, any of those standardized testing, and you really need to bulk up on your algebra, well, this is the live for you. So as you guys are coming on in, go ahead and tap away. And what I'm going to do is I'm just basically going over problem after problem, step by step, just so you can get an idea how to take any kind of math assessment, and two, working on your algebra skills at the same time. So I'm going to see if I can zoom in just a tad because I don't want to lose too much. But if anything, just come on in, have your paper and pencil ready to go, and be ready to participate. So if you want to sit and watch, hey, that's fine. If you want to chime in once in a while, that's perfectly fine as well. I just want you to come in, feel comfortable, and for a Friday evening, let's sit down and do a little bit of math for the next hour. All right? Okay. Well, hello, Marvelli. How are you? Fatima, thank you so much for the follow and coming on in. Hello, Victor. Hello, Dorothy. Welcome in, everyone. I greatly appreciate you. Hello, Deja. How's it going? Hopefully you guys can see my screen very well. If not, please let me know, because I know I'm basically using my phone right now and I'm trying to expand it as best as I can. All right. Well, hello, Hilly. You're here. Good job. All right. So I know I just want to kind of cover a little bit because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I really want you to be able to absorb, ask questions, and really start working on these things step by step. So there may be some things that I'm going to address that you haven't even seen in your college algebra curriculum yet, or maybe you haven't seen it since you were a fetus. But I'm here to give you the support, to make you go through it, and have you feel comfortable to ask questions. All right. So, if anything, and for those that are brand spanking new, I go through things very slowly, okay? So if you're just like, yeah, I know the answer, boom, 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 boom. Okay, congratulations. This is probably not the live for you. So my platform is really for those students that always struggle with math and just never had that support to really kind of help them through and to really try to understand it. So if you feel frustrated, this is probably not the live for you, okay? But if you really want to learn and break down, come on in. All right, so taking a look, awesome. Thank you for letting me know. So we're taking a look. Evaluate the expression 3a plus 2b divided by 2 when a is -3 and b is -4. So we have an answer, negative for A, -1/2, for B, -17 seconds, for C, 1/2, and for D, +17 seconds. Okay, so we got Big Al. Okay, which one, Big Al? It's like B, no, D, okay. Okay, Kimberly is saying D. Jess is saying A. My no name is saying D. Hey, the biggest ma. Welcome back. All right, is saying B. Okay. Is that Sabe? Serb is saying B. Okay, you're saying D. Okay. All right. Reaper is saying A. Kimberly went to B. Baller Mom. Welcome back, Baller Mom, with A. Understanding 25 is saying D. Joe is saying C. All right. Well, we got a nice little combination. All right. Know where to start. Going. We lost. No problem. I appreciate your honesty. Okay. All the above. It's not all the above, but thank you for chiming in. Oh, Precious, you're saying B. L is saying B. Understanding B. Got you. Jacob saying D. Ashanti is saying B. Thank you for the follow, VJ. All right. Conky Dong. That's cute. Saying A. Rolex. Ooh, mad expensive. Saying B. Okay. B. Waiting for a B. Diggs is saying C. All right. Well, let's take a look. So all we're doing, one, when they say evaluate, that means we're going to have something to substitute in for one of our variables. In this case, it's going to be two of them. So the original is 3a plus 2b over 2. So they're telling you we want you to substitute a -3 for the a, and we want to substitute the -4 for the b. So when you see 3a, that means 3 times a. When you see 2b, that means 2 times b. Okay? So now we're going 3 times -3. When the signs are opposite, my result is going to be negative. And then 3 times 3 gives me 9. Same's happening with the 2 times -4. So 2 times -4, that will give me a -8. If you want to put plus -8, you can do that, all right? Over the original 2. So now, -9 minus 8. Okay, it's not going to be -1. So think about it. You owe me $9. Then, for some sick and twisted reason, I loaned you another $8. So that means I'm out $17. That's how much you owe me. Owing is the negative. And then we put it over the original 2. Okay? So now we don't have anything else to reduce. This is our answer. And our answer is B. Okay? So if you see it right away, I know I have a negative and a negative. That means my numerator is going to be negative. So process of elimination, C and D was going to be out. Okay? So then I know that 9 and 8 is definitely not going to give me a 1. So my answer choice has to be B. You see how knowing those little nuances can help you really to get that process of elimination down. Nuances can help you really to get that process of elimination down. That is what helps you keep those numbers down. All right. Okay, there we go. Good stuff. Let's go with the next one. Sometimes I wonder why this is always stopping. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I'll try and make it a little bit bigger. So 3 plus 5 times 6 minus 4. Okay, so it's 3 plus 5 times 6 minus 4. Okay, answer choices. A is 17, B is 29, C is 16, and D is 30. I might have to do this zoom in, zoom out thing for a bit. All right. So let's see what you guys are coming up with. Okay, so Perfect said B. Lapita said B. Cece said B. Okay, Big Al said B. Serb said C. Chelsea said B. Lapita B. Okay, Naomi, it was a B, and all of a sudden it flipped around for me. Naomi, what happened? Where'd you go? Where'd you all go? Okay, here you go. Leah B. I think it's some random C. Louise B. Iris 29. Bethany B. Chelsea B. Misty B. Deb B. Beck B. Maria B. Iris B. Kisses gone glossy. Said 29, which is B. Then we have a C. Then we have a scary bin. Said B. Min says B. Steve C. Uninfluenced B. Scarlet 4. Okay. Joe B. Brandy 29. We got a C. Arson B. Victoria 29. Okay. So. Oh, I know. There's always some here. Hey, Janice. Oh, no, you were coming on this early. Yeah, I just felt it. I just felt it. I literally was up all night last night. So let's take a look. We need to do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So 1, we don't have any parentheses. Boom, that's done. 2, we don't have any exponents. Boom, that's done. 3, we need to do either multiplication or division from left to right. So the only multiplication that we have is right here with the 5 and the 6. So if I may, I'm going to have my 3 plus something minus 4. And that something is 30. Now, we don't have any division, so we don't have to worry about that. Now we got addition or subtraction. So from left to right. Okay, so 3 plus 30, that gives me 33. Now we got our 33 minus the 4, that gives us our B of 29. Okay, we should kind of know that it's not going to be A or C, because if I'm multiplying 5 and 6, I'm going to have 30. I'm not going to be quite at the T, and I'm definitely not going to have D because I have that 3 and that minus 4 there. All right. Let's try the next one. So I want you to simplify. So 6 minus 2 times 2 plus 2 to the 5th. Answer choice A, 40, B, 18, C, 34, D, 12. Okay. I think I have room for the follow. So far I have Dom with a C, Serb with a D, Gonzo Experiment with a D, Hasuhati with a C, okay, Kenzie with a 34, so that would be a C, Tay with a D, is a Alana with a D, I'm trying to read the cursive, Jonah with a C, Jojo D, okay, a few D's, a few C's. Joanna with a D. Laquita with a C. Storm with a D. Antoinette with a D. Lapita. Okay. All right. Janice with a C. Okay. Caleb D. Maria D. Antoinette. Okay. I lost you, Ray. Okay. I'm going to find you. We're going to find you. Okay. Tess Square with a C. Welcome back. Antoinette, I see you. Daphne with a D. I know you guys want me to say your names multiple times. You only have to put it in once. Okay? I may be a little older, but I am not. All kinds of cray. All right, so we're doing the same exact thing. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, again, we do not have any parentheses, but we do have an exponent. Okay, so we have that 2 to the 5th power. So 2 to that 5th power, I know 2 to the 4th, well, 2 to the 3rd is 8, times 2 is 16. So 16 times 2, that would give me my 32. So we have 2 to the 5th power. Then we have multiplication or dividing. So we have multiplication, and it's a negative 2 times 2. So that will give me a negative 4. So we have 6 minus 4 plus 32. Now, I know for sure a lot of people are like, oh, okay, let me take that 4 and the 32 and add them together, and then I get my 6. All right, you do that, okay? But it's supposed to be from left to right. Because if you do it that way, you're going to get a negative answer. Notice your answer choices. None of them are negative, okay? So that's why it's so important for the multiplying and the dividing, as well as the addition and subtraction, that you go from left to right. So 6 minus 4, that gives me my 2. 2 plus 32, that gives me my C of 34. Okay, let me pause for a moment. Let's see how we're doing. Where are these questions? Okay, so where did 32 come from? 2 to the 5th power. Okay, so 2 to the 5th power does not mean 2 times 5. That is not 10. Stop it. Okay, when you see a larger number adjacent to a smaller number that's lifted, that's called an exponent. The 2 is the base, the 5 is the exponent. So 2 to the 5th power, if I may slide for a moment, that's the same as saying 2 multiplied by itself 5 times. So I know that 2 times 2 gives me 4. 4 times 4 gives me 16. And 16 times 2 gives me my 32. Okay? All right? David, how are you? I don't feel right when I don't see David telling people about money. Okay, we're not doing differential. You always ask, user. Always. Try a different question. Okay, explain the 2 to the 5th. All right, so Gonzo, do you understand the 2 to the 5th now? Okay. How do people answer 12? Dom, I have no idea. It's Friday. Do I teach logarithms? I do, and I also tutor logarithms. So, but right now we're just working on basic math. All right, good. Thank you for the explanation, Rosette, and I don't know, something with a heart. Okay? All right, got me, good. I see where you messed up. Awesome, okay? But you said addition, then subtraction. Hold on, Raven. Let me get back to you. I had to click something so I could see everything. But you said addition, then subtraction, so why not add the 4 first, then subtraction? Here's the thing. This is the part that gets everybody. It's always go from what you see first, from left to right. That is the crucial part about order of operation. It screws everyone up, okay? So it only happens with multiplying and dividing. Whatever happens first from left to right, that's what you're combining. Then when it comes to addition and subtraction, whatever happens first from left to right, that's what you're combining. So that's why I had to do the 6 minus 4 first, because that's the first thing I saw from left, going from left to right. Okay? That key part is left to right. Everyone forgets about that. All right. Yep, everybody was just talking about it because I know back in the day, especially when I was doing it, you're exactly right. A lot of people use as please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And they gave it almost like it was their own entity. And that's not it, because we keep forgetting that we have to add that component of left to right. Okay, we had to do that. All right, let's go with number 4. All right, don't have to cover this for right now. All right, so evaluate 3x minus y divided by 6z minus x. If x equals 2, y equals 8, and z equals -2. Okay, no problem, Raven. So you always go left to right, but multiplication and division always takes precedence over adding and subtracting, okay? All right, so there's 935 of us here, and I'm only at 5.6K. What are we doing? Come on. Do I help with college algebra? Yes, I do. I would love to put a group together. I do personal tutoring and also do small groups. I wouldn't mind doing a group here on TikTok, but my thing is, some of you guys be flaking. Some of you guys be fronting. I know, I'm whipping out the old stuff, right? Okay? Don't forget. So let's see what we got for answers. So Hadi is saying C. All right. Thank you for the follow, everybody, and thank you for the share. Jacob, I'm seeing an A. Rob, I'm seeing an A. Deb with a D. Let me scroll up a little bit. It's like every time I scroll, it's like the whole thing goes. All right, Ken, I'm seeing the D twice. Got you. Jody, I'm seeing a C. You'll be messaging me? Not a problem. I'm here. How would I be able to do a private tutoring? You can just message me, or at the bottom, you actually see a button that says Service Plus. You can actually text me directly. So either way, you can DM me here, or you can text me directly. Okay, where am I located? I'm in Maryland. Thank you, Influence. Okay, is that Connie with the D answer? Trying to study for the ASVAB? Hey, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing drop-in sessions, and they're $5. Drop-in sessions, the first one is going to be this coming Sunday. I know football is here, but some of you guys, you need to change your lives, and football's not paying your bills. That's what I'm going to tell you right here, right now. So if you need the help, I'm here to help. All right, so Janice is saying A, perfect with a C. When you're doing college algebra, it's right now how many people want to sign up for it, because there's too many people that are saying they want it, and then all of a sudden they just flake out, like I said. I'm getting a little tired of that, if you notice the attitude, which I don't mean to pass it on to you. Sorry. J with a C. Ben is saying 14. Connie, I saw you with a C. Ben with an A. Is that Hira? Is with an A. Jody with a C. Positive Soul D. Forever Loyal with an A. Connie, enough times. You just want me to say your name, girl. Nick, same thing. Nick with an A. I need help with the nursing math. I'm going to try and say C. Okay, I'll say C. Victor with a B. Hey, Shelley, saying B. If you're good at math, life will be easy. We'll see. Positive Soul. There's other factors. Austin is A. Donald C. Alexandra B. Ma, how are you? D. Colo saying A. Yuki, how are you? B. Okay. Maravelli saying B. Janice A. All right. Big L D. Is that Ray with a B? Miranda D. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so all we're doing, again, here's that word evaluate again. So that means I have my 3. I'm going to be substituting something for the x as well as for the y. I have my 6. I'm going to be substituting something for the z as well as that same x. So they're telling me that x, wherever I see an x, I'm going to put a 2. So a 2 goes here and a 2 goes there. Wherever I see a y, I'm going to put an 8. We just got this one spot right there. And wherever I see a z, I'm going to put my -2. So don't go into dividing, okay? Everybody wants to jump into some stuff. Take it piece by piece. So we have 3 times 2. So that gives me 6 minus 8. Then down below, let's take a look at that. So I'm covering up this so I won't have so much distraction. Now I have 6 times -2. That gives me a -12 minus 2. Okay, so now we're doing 6 minus 8. That gives me a -2. Okay, you have $6. You want to buy something that costs $8, so you're $2 short. Okay, here, you're down $12. Then for some reason, maybe it's your credit card, you spend another $2. You're like, you know what? Forget that fee. I don't care. All right, so now we got -14. So with this being said, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And the funny part is, you guys know that, but when it comes to applying it, you forget. I can come up to you and say, what's a negative times a negative? You're like, a positive. Not even a flinch. And then all of a sudden, when it's time for you to apply it, you're like, oh, what? Okay? You got this. You just need to relax, all right? Let the mind relax so it can absorb more information. Now, 2 and 14, they're both even numbers. So that means they're divisible by 2. So 2 divided by 2 will give me my 1. And 14 divided by 2 will give me my 7. So for all my A people, you are correct. Oops. Answer was A. Okay, yes, test anxiety is very real. And you guys have the information. But you let other people's voices, your sense of doubt, and especially it's hard to learn when you're in a chaotic state. Hence, that's why I play some light little music in the background. Okay, you probably hear my fan wobbling in the background as well. But then I try to take it step by step for you. Okay, that's the reason why I do this. Okay, we are no longer in middle school. Okay, we are no longer in elementary school, have to worry about classmates talking about, oh, I want to go out to recess, you're slowing me up. Nope, none of that. That was tragedy that we had back then. We are grown and sassy now. All right, well, thank you, Janice, I appreciate it. Oh, someone says I have a nice, cool jazz voice. Sure. Okay, now, for those that are new, let me unzoom. So if you want to take a quick pic, whoa, it's going to be maybe 2 pictures because I got to slide this bad boy over so you can fit everything. Maybe like that. Okay. Now, I know it's Friday night. I would love for everyone to be here. I love the fact that there's over 700 people here. Hi, how you doing? Around the world, let's go. All right. But I know some of you guys are like, I kind of want to get ready to go out. That's fine. Because here's one thing. If you go here and you type in here, I would love for everyone to screenshot right now. If you go here, type in here, all of my recordings from my lives are available. Everything from February 2nd all the way to yesterday. I think yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, because I did that early this morning. All right. So I would love for you to do all 5 of these if you can, so we can build it up. All right. And the other thing, I'm usually live every single day. Okay. Sometimes twice a day. That might be happening starting next week. I'm going to try things out for September. I'm going to try something new. Okay. So make sure you screenshot. I'm going to take this away in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it also gives you an idea of what I tutor as well. All right, so let's get this out the way. And let's continue on. So, number 5. Oops. So, we're going to simplify. 14 minus 30 over 2 times negative 4. Is your answer A, negative 2, B, 2, C, 11 halves, or D, negative 11 halves? Okay, I know some of you guys are starting to get anxious because you want to be the first one on. There's no competition. There's no gold stars. There's no Chick-fil-A anything. You know, and if you get it wrong, if you're not sure what the answer is, put a question mark. Okay, a question mark is the same as putting some kind of answer down. At least you're being honest. Okay, but at least give it a try. Because some of you guys haven't seen this since you were a fetus. So, you know, you're trying to get back into it. Okay. So I see my lady saying you need help with your GED. Hey, make sure you reach out to me. And then also be aware on some of the drop-in days. Okay. It is very much the same. A lot of this is going to be on the GED as well. A lot of it is usually cross curriculum. All right, so let's take a look. So, critical B, Hottie B, Mavelli B, Naffy B. Okay, Go B, Jasmine B, Raven B, Heather B, Party B, Deb B, Michael B, Lady C. I'm not sure what you're saying, Gabby, but I would love to help too. All right, Caleb B. Do I have ASVAB questions too? Yes, that's what I do for the drop-ins. Zoe B, Donald B, Slip Inside B. Oh, that was fun. Nene B, Always B, Nana A. Okay, we're thinking on the rip. We got a positive 2. We got Peacock with a B, Divine B. All right, got your lady. All right, what's the drop-ins? I'll explain the drop-ins after this. Okay, Rosette B, Addicted. How are you, B? Okay, Janice. Okay, I got a couple D's. I got a couple B's. I got a nice little arrangement here. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, this time we're simplifying. So there is nothing being plugged in. Okay, when it's simplified, that means you got all the numbers that you need. So in this case, we have that 14 minus 30, right? So we can go ahead and combine that because that's in the numerator. That will give us, let's say, a negative 16. Now in the denominator, you have 2 times negative 4. So 2 times negative 4, that gives us a negative 8. And again, a negative divided by a negative, that will give us a positive. And then 16 divided by 8 will give us a positive 2. So for all that said positive 2 or B's, you are right there. Okay, you are right there. And I know there was tons of other people, but I'm trying to get there. All right. Okay. All right. So let's build up this confidence. Let's do another one. Let me know if I need to make it larger. Let me slide over. Here we go. Because the problem is over here. So we're going to use the distributive property to simplify this. Let me zoom in just a hair more. Okay. If you guys need to make your screens a little bit bigger, you can do so as well. So it's negative 3 times the difference of x and 10 plus x. What would be my answer? Is it negative 4x plus 30, negative 4x minus 30, negative 2x plus 30, or negative 2x minus 30? There you go. Who said that? I think that was Raven. Yup. And that was a good strategy, Raven, what you said about because a negative minus a negative. So a negative minus a negative will still give you a negative. But we got Caden. It's saying C. Unstoppable. I thought a negative and a negative creates a positive. Okay, so Michael, when you're multiplying, a negative times a negative will give us a positive. Okay, so when we were dividing, let me pause for a second. When you're dividing, a negative divided by a negative, this gives us a positive. But right here, when you have a positive times a negative, that's where the -8 came from. But when you're subtracting, you're always taking the sign of the largest number. So think about it. You have $14. You're trying to buy something that's $30. That means you're $16 short. Okay? Yes. Definitely learning the multiplication table is worthwhile. All right, so we had a whole bunch of C's. Let me see. We had Jean with a C. Okay. Jay, is that your inner child trying to come out? That's not nice. If you don't like what we're doing, you can just go ahead and go. We do not have to go and get off of our thrones, people, to go down with peasants. So let us grow. So when we do our distributive property, we have our -3 being multiplied to the x, as well as being multiplied to this -10. That minus sign, we're acting it as a negative. So -3x, now we have a negative times a negative. That will give me my positive 30. Now, this plus x, that is not inside the parenthesis. So what's going to happen? It's going to come on down. So just because they're not next to each other doesn't mean that we do not have like terms to combine. Right away, when I see this plus 30, I'm going directly to my answers. Anything that has a -30, like D and B, they're gone. Because they're saying the 30 is negative. We did our job with that distributive property, and there's no other like terms to combine with it. So now it's either choice A or C. So I have a -3x plus 1x. If you don't see a number, it's assumed to be 1. So you owe me $3. You paid me $1. That means you still owe me $2. Okay, so the winner for this is going to be C. Okay, love all the C's. Good. You get that negative. That's what you got? Awesome. Okay, so Raven, here's the thing. We're taking our time. Guess what? If you get something wrong in the midst of it, and this goes for everyone that's here on this live, if you get something wrong, guys, it's not Squid Games. We're not going to off you because you got something wrong. What we're going to do is we're going to learn from that mistake and adjust. That's all you have to do. Okay? You can use that as a life lesson. You can use that as a math lesson. You got to remember, we got to chisel a lot of years of people calling you stupid. Okay? Which you are not. Okay? We're going to take our time and we're going to learn. Okay? All right. Love you. Number 7. So we're going to simplify. We have 8y minus 2 minus 3y minus 4. Okay? So it's not evaluating because we're not substituting anything. We're going to simplify. That means combining like terms after we do a little bit of order of operation. Okay? All right, not a problem. Okay, ASVAB tutorial, please. Yes, a lot of this stuff that I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, are on the GED, the ASVAB, the AccuPlacer. Okay, some people that are taking college algebra, some parts of it, just the little beginning parts of it in the SAT, because the SATs are coming up. Actually, they are here already, but the PSAT in October, that's coming up. And especially if you're a junior, this is the big one. You need this one because colleges look at that one to indicate what other scholarships they want to offer to you. So we can't take these little tests lightly if that's the track that you want to go on. All right. T's test, exactly. Especially the algebra component. Okay. Yes. All those standardized testing is basically the same concepts. They're just changing the covers of the books sometimes, unless there's some specific content. So I'm seeing a sea of D's. I love it. James, Shay, Minz, Ma, MJ's mom. Okay, addicted, Takara, critical. Is that Suma? All right. Okay, a lot of people is Noah, including you. Good job. Put your answer in the thing. So I'm very HJ's D. Okay, M, D, slip inside D. Got you, Soma. Got you, H. Let's see if I got more people on the end. Okay, it is. And guess what, Noah? You're doing it too. Good job. All right, so put your answer in the chat. All right, so here we go. Always think of please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And we're going from left to right. Okay, that is the critical piece. So we have parentheses, but we have a y minus 4. We can't combine those. So boom, that's done. We don't have any little numbers, as you guys like to call it. You don't have any exponents. So boom, that's gone. So now from left to right, I'm looking at multiplication. So I'm starting here. Okay, that's subtraction. That's subtraction. Oh, but we got this multiplication. Let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's take that -3 and distribute it to everything inside that parenthesis. So we have 8y minus 2. And when we distribute, -3 times y gives me a -3y. And then -3 times -4, a negative times a negative will give me a positive. And 3 times 4 will give me 12. Okay, so we took care. There's no other divisions going on. Now we just have nothing but addition and subtraction. So that means the M and D, that's done. Now, from left to right, we're looking at addition to subtraction. So we're starting from the left. Okay, I have an 8y. All right, I can't pair that with the 2. They're not like terms. But this 8y and this minus 3y, they're like terms. So 8 minus 3, that gives me 5y. Once I see that, I'm going straight to my answer choices. Everyone is a 5y except for A. Cross that out. Now you don't have to worry about 4 choices. Now you're down to 3. So now we need to combine this -2 and the positive 12. So think of it. You have $12. You spent 2. That means you have $10 left. So 5y plus 10, we can't combine those, plus there's my answer. All right. Now, here's a little thing. I'm going to do tips as we go through all this. When it comes to these type of assessments, you do not need to show your work. Okay? You're going to get either like, I don't know, what is it? Either a piece of paper, or some of you guys might get like some kind of writing tablet or something. They don't care about how you do it as long as you pick the right answer, A, B, C, or D. Some test E, okay? That's all they care about. So if you notice your answer right away, click it, bubble it, move on. Okay? Don't like, oh, well, let me explain why. No one cares. No one cares. Okay? We are so programmed to show all our work. But then these type of assessments, you do not need to show your work. Okay? You just have to break things down. All right. This one, I can take this off. Okay? Number 8. So write the fraction in the lowest terms. 36a cubed bc squared over 24ab to the fourth c squared. Okay. Yes, so divine, if you are subtracting, you always take the sign. Adding or subtracting, if the signs are different, always take the signage of the largest number. Not the largest value, but the largest number. Okay? All right. All right, so Philly Blunt, hey, what's up? Go Birds. Saying C, Juan C, Jada C. No problem, Divine, no problem. Okay. You think it should be 11Y? Okay, why do you think that? Okay, Sean C. Hello, Lobes. Okay, never mind. Okay, got you. Dara's in college, algebra. Is in college and doing this right now. Awesome, good. Anything to support. Again, if you need a resource, you go here, type in this, and if you can do these 5 things, that will be great. You can go ahead and do a quick little screenshot of that. Okay. If some of you guys want to get started on your GED journey and you're just like, don't know where to go, and you know your time schedule is crazy because you got to work, let me know. I also have courses available. Okay, I have courses available. This is the month to get all my stuff. Okay, when you see the powers, should you do Raven? Let me show you. Okay, you're thinking the right one, but you're extending it too far. I think that's what it is. Okay, can I show that again? Sure. Okay, got it? Okay, thanks, no problem. So paragraph math. So you need to practice on word problems. Okay, okay. When are you doing the AccuPlacer? We're doing some of the components of it right now. Everyone keeps thinking a lot of these maths are separate. They're not. There is just certain components that's a little more advanced, like AccuPlacer and some parts of college algebra, they do more of rational functions and radical functions. And then they'll do a little bit more with trig than compared to Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. So GED, you have 4-point questions. Those 4-point questions is slope. Everybody's got to deal with slope. Everybody's got to deal with the equation of the line. Okay, so don't think that this is separate. It's all included. All right, so I'm seeing a whole bunch of C's, okay? A whole bunch of C's with the addictions, with everybody. So, taking a look, 36. So let me zoom in, and then let me hide. Okay, let me hide this denominator. So let me explain, because Raven asked a pretty good question. We have to take a look at what is actually being raised by the exponent. If they're not enclosed in parentheses, okay, so say for instance this 36. If it said 36 enclosed in parentheses and raised to the third power, that means you have to multiply the 36 3 times. Okay? But that's not what this is saying. The only thing that's being raised to the third power is the a. Okay? There's no parentheses. The only thing that's being raised to the second power is the c. Same thing's happening underneath in that denominator. The only thing that's being raised to the fourth power is your b. And the only thing that's being raised to the second power is your c. So now, let's take a look at, where my other sheets go? Wow. I had other pieces of paper. Oh, here they go. All right. So let's just focus on the coefficients for right now. So 36 and 24. Okay? 36 and 24, they have 12 in common. That's the greatest common factor that they have. So if I divide 36 divided by 12, that will give me a 3. If I divide the 24 by 12, that will give me 2. You could divide both the 36 and the 24. You can divide it by 6, right? And that will give you 6/4. And 6/4 can be reduced by 2, which will give you 3/2. No matter what, you always want to try to simplify, okay? Get it down to the lowest terms. So if we're saying that our coefficients is 3/2, looking at our answer choices, right away, b is gone because they have the 2 in the numerator instead of the denominator, as well as d is gone. Okay? So you see how the process of elimination can help you. Now, taking a look at a and c, what's different? This one is telling me I have my b squared in the numerator. This one is saying I have a b cubed in the denominator. This one is saying my a to the third is in the denominator. This one is saying a squared is in the numerator. Let's take a look. In the numerator, there are 3 a's. A times a times a. In the denominator, there is 1a. So what happens is you compare them up and cross them out, because anything divided by itself is 1. Think about it. 3 divided by 3, 1. 2 divided by 2, 1. 168 divided by 168, 1. How many 2's, or how many 2's? Just told you. How many a's are left in the numerator? There's 2 of them. And that's represented with a squared. So as soon as I get that, I'm going to my answer choices. This one, the a is not in the numerator, and it should be, because we have 2 of those a's left in the numerator. So my answer should be C. Notice I didn't do the whole entire problem. Okay? Notice we did the process of elimination. All right? Okay? So, hey, BB. Okay, so this is the things that we need to do. You're taking the cues of what you know, and you're trying to find them in the problems. Okay? Questions. It's hard for me to kind of do questions and break down at the same time, because this is how I do it. My teaching, tutoring, all that. This is how I do it. Please do the entire problem after? After what? Okay, please repeat. We're going to move to the next one. Okay? All right? I would love to repeat, but I'm only here for a short amount of time. And as you can see, we got all of this. Now, if you want to, if you're coming here later, give me some time for me to do this. Okay? Go here. Go here. All my replays are found there. Okay, take a quick little clip of it, little snapshot. Okay. Okay. Miss Queen, do not worry about the B and the C. The B and the C didn't go anywhere. You're trying to finish the problem, and this is why some of you guys run out of time. Because they don't care about your whole process. All they care about is, are you picking the right problems? Okay? If you want full in-depth, I can easily give you full in-depth. But that's not going to help you pass this exam. Okay? It's not going to help you. All right? Okay. All righty then. Zoop. Okay. Yep, you just have to do a search for these pages. Just do a search. It's on the internet. Just do a regular old search. Okay, family show, what's your question? Are quadratic functions questions? They're functions. Are you wondering if I have some quadratic functions questions in here? I got a whole mixture of stuff. Got a whole mixture. Okay. Okay. What level is this? Right now we're in pre-algebra, algebra 1. Okay, so I'm seeing some C's and B's. Okay, I got a couple random D's. But mostly some C's and B's. Okay, oh, got an A. Gonzo. Okay, so Sophia, it's like algebra 1 to pre-algebra. Okay, lots of B's. Casey, how are you? I haven't seen you in a bit. Okay, we got some Erica. We got B. Go to B. Big out B. All right, Marvelli, we got a B. Okay, Tanae, B. All right, so let's take a look. Oh, you're from Australia, don't know what that is? Yeah. So it might be Math 1 for you guys in Australia. Okay, so yes. Well, in a way, we don't use PEMDAS. Okay? PEMDAS is usually used for what's called an expression. So let me show you what the difference is. So say for this one, we don't have an equal sign. When you don't have an equal sign, that's called an expression. That's when PEMDAS is basically used for, okay, to simplify. But we can use some of those components to help us with solving, but it's not directed. This one has an equal sign. So since we're solving, we can solve this one of two ways. And I'm going to show you both ways. The first way, we can distribute. We can distribute this 3 to everything inside of the parenthesis. Not on the other side of the equal sign, just inside of the parenthesis. So we have 3x plus 3 equals that negative 6. So we have to think of this equal sign almost as a barrier. Whatever happens on one side must happen on the other side. That's why when you hear teachers talking about what's happening on this side happens on that side of the equal sign. Because when you split with the equal sign, it develops two sides. The goal when you're solving for x or any variable is to get that variable by itself. We need to isolate it. Okay? So I like to think of it like people in the club. So you're the X, the 3 is your boo. Whatever your boo looks like, that's great. Here comes this plus 3. You're in the club having a good time. Here comes this plus 3 trying to bring their positivity into your little conversation. So you have to be negative to get that person away from you. I don't care where you go to the other side of the club. Go where negative 6 is. Have some negative 6 babies. There we go. So now we're going to bring down the 3x. It's just you and your boo. This is what you always dreamt of. This was fun. Over here in -6 land, -6 minus 3. When the signs are the same, you're going to keep that sign and you're going to add the numbers. When the signs are the same, you're going to keep that sign and you're going to add the numbers. So that's why this is a -9. Now, your boo thing is acting up. Look, I'm about to leave you. I'm about to go. So you need to divide that person out your life. We all got exes, we know, right? So when you divide them out, they're canceled out of your world. So you by yourself, yay. But over here, we got -9 divided by 3. The signs are opposite, so my answer is going to be negative. And 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. So my answer is going to be B for -3. Okay. Once you see this part here, you're like, okay, I got a negative, got a positive. My answer is going to be negative. Right away, you know that C and D ain't going to be it. And then once I see I'm going to divide by 3, okay, I know 9 divided by 3 gives me 3, so my answer is B. Okay? That's how you use your time wisely. Okay? All right. Okay? So, like I told you, there's another way. Let me rewrite that on this side, on this little blank side. So you do what makes sense to you. Now, since on this left-hand side, all I have is multiplication because it's 3 times x plus 1. The opposite of multiplication is division. That's the inverse. I can go ahead and divide both sides by 3. I don't have a plus anything or a minus anything after the parenthesis. That's why this side is nothing but multiplication. So when those cancel out, what's left is, without the parenthesis, my x plus 1 equals -6 divided by 3 gives me a -2. Then here, I want to get x by itself. So I need to do the inverse. So I'm subtracting 1. So my x equals -2 minus 1. Both signs are negative. So my answer is going to be negative. And I'm going to add 2 and 1, which gives me 3. You'll get the same answer. Okay. Yep, we're not doing 2 parentheses. This only works with 1. 2 parentheses, you're definitely doing what's called FOIL or the distributive property. Okay. All right. Okay. And if there's an answer bank, just plug and try. You can do that, Grace, but remember, this is a timed assessment. So GED, ASVAB, AccuPlacer, SAT, ACT, you name any test, it's going to have a time. AccuPlacer, you got a little more leniency than all the other tests that I just listed. Okay, so we want to see if we can get. You don't want you to memorize formulas. We want you to get to them. Okay, all right. We need to practice FOIL? How about you need to practice FOIL? No, I'm just kidding. I don't need to practice FOIL. I love how we all of a sudden. We French all of a sudden. I'm just kidding. All right. Number 10. Okay, we got 10 more minutes. Do I teach ratios as well? Yep. And if you go there, you'll see ratios as well. I got you, Devon. Okay, just keep on coming and keep on structuring. Okay, so I'm starting to see a lot of A's. I love it. You're learning this in class? Yep, good. This is that time of year. Most of the teachers are learning or teaching this right now. Okay, so I'm seeing a whole bunch of A's. There we go. We got our Marcus. We got I Hate Pogs. How are you? Haven't seen you in a minute. My baby's here. Okay, Grace A, Jen A, Joy A, Brandon A, Mia A, Natasha. Okay, Nemzo A. Okay, love it. All right, so when you're adding polynomials, the key thing is like terms. So you want to combine your 2a with your 5a. So right away, that gives you 7a. As soon as I combine that, boom, I'm looking at my answer choice, C is out. Now, what's left over is a positive 3 and a negative 7. Well, the signs are different, but my larger number is 7, so I know I'm going to have a negative. Or think of it this way. You owe me $7, you paid me $3. So that means you still owe me $4. Okay? That's why your answer choice is going to be A. You cannot combine the 7 and the 4 because the 7 has an A and the 4 has a B. Two different worlds. Okay? Two different worlds. They can get close together to the date. They just can't reproduce. Okay? All right. Makes sense? Okay, they're all online. Just have to go searching for them. All right. Ooh, let me unzoom a lot. Cause even more. Sorry, guys. Oops. Okay. So we have, this time we're going to subtract the polynomials. So we have 9x squared minus 4x plus 11 minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 2. I'm going to focus on these for a second so you can see it, and then I'm going to throw up the answer choices. Because I feel like everyone's like, what does that say? Okay, so 9x squared minus 4x plus 11 minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 2. Okay, I'm going to show the answer choice in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are the answer choices. Can I take away from another number like 3 and 7? Oh, Erica, for your question from before, can you take another number like 3 and 7b? No. Just leave it as is. Okay, don't overcomplicate things. Trust me. Okay? So we got D's, we got A's, we have B's, we have B's, B's, A's, A's, B's, a C. An A, couple A, and a B. All right, so we got D's, we got C's. Switch back to an A. We got a B, D, C. Okay, we got basically every letter of the alphabet. Can I show the problem again? Of course. Okay. BBC. It all depends if we're about Doctor Who. Okay. So we got O, we got D, we got A. We got Grace, we got baby with D. Okay, let me slide over. Okay, what does D have? What does D have 9 at the end? Okay, so we got some A's, we got some B's, got some D's. All right, we're going with every letter of the alphabet now. All right, so let's take a gander. First thing, always take a look in between your parentheses. Okay? If you don't see a minus or a plus sign, that means you're multiplying. So right now we're minusing. So this is the thing, and this is why we have so many different numbers. We do extremely well with going 9x squared minus 3x squared. We do awesome with that. But then the rest of it, we stop subtracting. Each and every time. You can sit there and try to lie to me all you want. So this is why when we do subtraction, people like to use what's called keep, change, flip, or some people call keep, change, change, whatever is happening. Because this is what you need to do. You're going to keep that first parenthesis, so you're going to rewrite it. You're going to change that minus to a plus. And then you're going to change or flip all the signs in the second parenthesis. So instead of a positive 3x squared, it's a negative 3x squared. Instead of a negative 2x, it's a positive 2x. And instead of a positive 2, it's a negative 2. The reason why we do this is to make sure that you guys understand what sign is supposed to go with which number. So like I said, you do awesome with your 9x squared with your negative 3x squared, which gives us our 6x squared. Well, that's not helping us this time for our answer choices because all of them are 6x squares. All right, so we're done with those. Now we can do negative 4 plus 2. So negative 4 plus 2, you owe me $4. You paid me 2. That means you still owe me $2. So knowing that, I'm going straight to my answer choices. So which one has a minus 2x? That's A and B. So that means C and D is out. Then you can do the last term, which is 11 minus 2, which gives me a positive 9. And that means our answer is A. Okay. Okay. So here's my thing. If you got it wrong, you put it in wrong, hey, guess what? Learn. We're going to learn from it. Okay? We're going to adjust. If you got it right, awesome. Congratulations. I hope you guys are feeling good. Okay? We got one more question, and then we're going to shut this down. Okay, so we got number 12. We have x plus 2 times, reason why I'm saying times, there's no plus or minus in between, x squared minus 2x plus 4. And there's two ways I'm going to show you how to solve this. Oh, test square. Hold on for a sec. Go ahead, test square. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. Number 12. You're welcome. College algebra? Yep, combination of college algebra, algebra 1, algebra 2. That's basically what college algebra is. Algebra, GED, prep, ASVAB prep, you name it, we got it. Okay. Hey, Reeves. Okay. So we got Nimzo, we got Sean, Poppy. I need a prep for the GED. Okay, Alexandra, got you. Yes. Who said that? Who said that? Yes, C-Temp teach. Love you. Kiss on the forehead right there. Michael, where have you been? I thought I pissed you off. Oh, the para? Yes, I've heard of the para-educators test. Yeah, so a lot of the basic math, especially the math that you're going to see to support your students. Yep. Right now, this is like close to the end of the year, Algebra 1, Algebra 2, first quarter. So it's like fourth quarter Algebra 1, first quarter Algebra 2. That's what we're talking about right now. How did you end up here? You got sucked in by the vortex. Enjoy. Just when you thought you were going to see another video about a puppy or a cute little cat doing something crazy, all of a sudden you got this crazy black woman talking about math. Okay. Yes, thank you. I know, it's all kinds of fun, you know, when you just randomly come on here. But a lot of people want to learn. A lot of people want to learn. All right, so I'm seeing some B's, I'm seeing some A's. Okay, you're currently taking college algebra. Oh, don't let it be the death of you. I know, because it's a fast pace. Regardless if it's a 12-week course, it's still a fast pace. You're trying to learn a whole year of algebra in 12 weeks. Not possible. Like, no. No. Okay, the sum of cubes. Yep. You have no clue? No problem. Do not apologize. I appreciate your honesty. Am I here every day? Yes. What time? It's just been fluctuating. Because sometimes I'll have kids, like I had a kid supposedly tonight, but they canceled. So I just said, screw it, I'm coming on. You know, selfish of me. Just real selfish. You went to math, 1050, graduated. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. Now, we can do this one of two ways. The first way, and don't say FOIL. FOIL only works for two binomials, okay? What we have here is we have a binomial. There's two terms being separated by an addition sign. And over here, we have a trinomial. That is three terms being separated by addition or subtraction sign. So what you can do is distribute. But let me show you. If you distribute, I'm taking this first x and I'm distributing and multiplying it to everything in the second parenthesis. So what happens, let me zoom out a little bit or a lot. So what happens is I have x times x squared. Think of it this way. There's one x here. There's two x's there. If I combine them, I would get 3x's. That's roughly what x cubed is. Okay? When you multiply, you add the exponents. So now x times negative 2x. So I bring down the negative 2. Instead of just 1x, because there's 1x there, there's 1x there, so there's 2 x's. And then x times 4 gives me a positive 4x. Okay. So now, I kind of learned this a little bit because we like to learn vertically. Now when we distribute, instead of me continuing out long ways out here, I'm going to take this 2 and I'm multiplying everything in that second parenthesis by the 2. So I have 2 times x squared. So that gives me a positive 2x squared. She's like, oh, wait, I know the way I'm lining it up, it's a little different. So when I have my 2 and I multiply it by negative 2x squared, that gives me a negative 4x. So I go minus 4x. Now I'm going to multiply the 2 times the 4. Okay. So multiply the 2 times 4. That gives me a positive 8. By doing it more vertically, people tend to see their like terms a lot better, especially when it comes to the multiplying. So hopefully you're seeing that, oh, wait, negative 2x squared and positive 2x squared, they cancel out. Positive 4 minus 4, that gives me 0. They cancel out, including the x's, okay? Including the x's. So the only things that are left is my x cubed and my plus 8. Answer choice A. Okay, so it's exactly right. It's the distributive property. And once you do your second distribution, just line it up with the appropriate exponents. So then it's easier for you to see the combinations. Okay, that's one. As I said, there's another way. If you're in science and it was biology, there's something called the Punnett square. So this is what's happening. Your first parenthesis, remember I said it was a binomial, it has 2 terms. Your second parenthesis is a trinomial, it has 3 terms. So what we're going to draw based on that terminology, let me rewrite it up here. And again, you do which one feels good to you. Okay, they're not going to ask you full on details. So we have 2 terms. That means we're going to have 2 rows. This parenthesis, we have 3 terms. That means we're going to have 3 columns. So this is what you do. Draw a nice size box where I'm going to have 2 rows, and then 1, 2, 3 columns. 1, 2, 3. So each row and column is going to have a number represented. So if you're like, this is my first time seeing it, just stop and observe. Stop and breathe and observe. Okay, remember, you're not taking the test tomorrow. Okay? Breathe. So this x plus 2, I'm going to put the x here and the plus 2 here. For the x squared minus 2x plus 4, I'm going to put up top here. Here's the x squared. Here's the minus 2x. And here's the plus 4. Okay. If you want to write this down below here, you can do that as well. Okay. It's perfectly fine. So now, in order to fill the boxes, you need to multiply. So you have your x squared times x. That's what goes on in this box. Remember I said you're going to add the exponents. If you don't see a number, it's assumed that a 1 is there. So that gives me x to the third power, or x cubed. To fill this box, I need to multiply negative 2x times x. So I bring down the negative 2, and this will be x squared, because x times x gives me x squared. To fill this box, we multiply the 4 and the x. So that gives me a positive 4x. Okay. To fill this box, you have x squared times positive 2. That gives us a positive 2x squared. To fill this box, you multiply negative 2x times positive 2. That gives me a negative 4x. And lastly, to fill this box, you multiply 4 times 2. And that gives us our 8. Here on the diagonals are your like terms. Negative 2 plus 2. You owed me $2. You paid me $2. Guess what? You don't owe me any money. All right? You have $4. You spent $4. You broke as hell. I can't front because I'm broke with you. All right? So they will cancel out. They will give me zeros. And I don't need the placeholder of 0x or 0x squared. It's not necessary. So what's left over is my, put it here, my x cubed and my positive 8. Forgot to put the plus sign there. And if you notice, you get the same answer. Okay, so you get the same answer. All right. Calling out your business. Hey, I'm right there with everybody. Trust me, there's nothing bougie going on around here. Got bills to pay too. Okay, not a problem. Okay. Yes, this will definitely be on the GED test. So things, let me see if I go through a listing rather quickly. So GED, you'll see everything from basic arithmetic, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing fractions, decimals. You're dealing with percentages, simple interest, like a lot of the basic ratio, proportions, all of those things. Then there's algebra that's involved. So anything dealing with the equation line, plotting points on a grid, dealing with inequalities and solving one-step, two-step, multi-step equations, which we did with the distributive property, like we did here, okay? So we got those type of problems. Then it goes up even further in algebra. So now we're dealing with slope, the equation of the line, system of equations, graphing linear inequalities, as well as dealing with, what was the other thing? like the different types of equations like factoring and quadratics, and well as getting the GED, LCMs, and volume's on there, probability is on there, data analysis, so you're looking at the measures of central tendencies, which we all know it as mean, median, and mode, not range. Range is a variation, but they usually throw it all together. I don't know why. So those are a lot of the components that's being dealt with, and some geometry, like how to do composite, as well as how to do complementary, supplementary angles, the different types of angles or triangles that you have, looking at area and circumference and perimeter. So there's like a whole list of things. But all the questions are not measured exactly the same. Okay? So you'll have like a 1-point question. A 1-point question will be, where'd my other stuff go? So, like, order of operation, that would be considered a 1-point question. Okay? Anything kind of doing a little bit of evaluation, this might be a 1 or 2-point question, depending on if they had like some exponents in here, that'll be a 2-point question. But something like this, 1, maybe 2. Then a 3-point question will be doing distributive property, solving. Like a 3-point question will be you're multiplying your polynomials, adding, subtracting your polynomials. Those will be like a 3-point question. Now the 4-point question, that's the mega. That's dealing with slope. Okay, the change of y over change of x, the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, the equation of the line y equals mx plus b. Can you read a graph? Okay, can you basically pull an equation from a graph? Do you know your system of equations? How to find the point of intersection? Doing with the right shading with inequalities, and also with linear inequalities and the system of inequalities. You might get 1 or 2 of those. Sometimes they might throw a matrices problem in there, depending from year to year. Sometimes they put it in, sometimes they take it out. But volume, that is going to be a 4-point question. Those are the type of questions that generally people, when they take the test the first time, they skip. And that's why you can't pass it, because you can't skip those problems. You have to at least get a couple slope problems and maybe try one system of the equation. And if you do well with all the basic 1-step and 1-point and 2-point questions, you'll be able to pass. But you can't skip those 4-point questions. When it comes to ASVAB, it's all based off of building. So I know someone that got a 2 on it. But at the same time, English was not his first language. It is a reading test. So if you are looking for a resource that's pretty decent, especially the test questions, ASVAB for Dummies is the thing, okay? I know there's 2 different types of ASVAB for Dummies. You can get the one from Angie. Now, here's the thing. I got this year's, but here's the thing. You can get last year's, you can get 2003's. The cover is changed, but the interior is exactly the same. I'll be the whistleblower. I really don't bloody care, okay? So inside, so if you want to get an older book, go get an older book. That's a little bit cheaper, all right? So, but the test that they have in here, the practice test, is very good. Close relation. I've always heard that people said, yeah, it was really closely to what the test had. And this summer I had 5 people? Well, now up to date I have 7 people that got their ASVAB, and they scored in the mid 50s and up. And we had one young lady that scored a 96, but she worked her butt off. Okay, she came to every live, she watched all my videos, she got my course as well, and she just worked her butt off. So, Everyone is going to range differently. When it comes to the AccuPlacer, it has Algebra 1 components, Algebra 2 components, the same thing that you'll see in GED and ASVAB. But they'll also have some higher level like pre-calculus, because the AccuPlacer is used to help you find where you're going to place in a college setting. So it could be a community college, because I think most universities are using either SATs, some are using SAT, ACT, some of them are not using the SAT at all, and they're using the AccuPlacer, and some of them are using AccuPlacer, your letter, and interviews. So you're going to have to do your research, and my suggestion is to go to collegeboard.com. I think it's .com. Yeah, to collegeboard.com, and you can do a comparison and look at what schools you want to go to. And then it also depends on what branch you need to go, and also what job you're trying to do, especially for the ASVAB. But if you just want to go basic, 31 is the score, but you want to get a little bit higher. It's great that you want to go in the Army, but you're going to be, how should I put it without cursing? That's going to be hard. But you're going to be the basic person. There we go. See, I can do it. So you're going to be doing a lot of the manual things, regardless if it's rainy, if it's hot, if it's that. You're always going to be outside. You're always going to be pulling something, cleaning something, doing something. And I know some people are like, oh, I don't mind doing that. And I'm like, but when you're in a company of how many hundreds of people, you're going to mind. You're going to mind. So if we can score higher up, it'll give you more opportunities and more career choices. Okay. The book again? Yep. So you can do the ASVAB. Okay. It is called ASVAB for Dummies. I hate the name of it, but the test is very close related. And what I'm going to be doing for my $5 thing, and we're actually going to start one tomorrow, but that's going to be for GED. I'm going to be teaching some basic components here on TikTok. I'm going to do it at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Try to catch it before football, but I'm going to probably do it again in the afternoon. But I'm still having my free sessions at 7 o'clock. Actually, it might be a little early because I'm tired. I need some sleep, people. I'm working on 1 hour of sleep, baby. Yeah. But if anything, what I do is I'll do a couple of it, and then what I do is I stop the live and I do it on a Zoom call. So, and then we dig a little bit deeper. We look at some of the pre-tests on the GED. We look at some of the pre-tests, the things that's on the AccuPlacer. You see how I break things down here? That's going to be very similar to what you're going to see during those sessions. Okay? And it's just a pay-by-pay, session to session. All right. Do I teach high school math? Yes, I do. Do I teach math for the T's? Yep, I'm basically doing it because a lot of these for the entry exam is on there. Now, when it comes to dosage calculations, that is not me. I do have a friend that's here, that Blessed RN, and she's here on TikTok. She's amazing. And she knows how to break down dosage calculations, because you do not want to screw that up, people. We do not want to kill people, okay? No, there's something called life. We kind of like that, okay? So if you want, I'll put it in the chat. I'll see if I can. Okay. So if you see ACG Math Tutoring, that's me. And it's like a Blessed RN. So you can definitely follow her. She goes live, I want to say a couple times a week, because she's actually a nurse. So, you know, she has got to do work as well. Okay. Geometric proofs? No, I hate geometric proofs. Because there isn't geometric proofs on the GED, the ASVAB, and the AccuPlacer. They just do like general stuff. But if you need help with proofs, I can tutor you, but not to do here on the live because it gets too general. Okay, yep. If you're currently in the classroom and you're in in chemistry, and you are looking for a chemistry person, make sure you check out Professor TK. She is amazing. Follow her as well. I mean, she knows how to break down the bonds. She knows how to even out the equations, all this stuff. And she does it like very much step by step. So definitely follow her. Teach that. Like, I know, right, Mel? I know. But there was a couple years when we didn't have to teach proofs. And that was like my favorite years ever. I don't mind doing the algebraic proofs, and I don't mind. I've learned to like proving congruent triangles because that used to be my downfall. But there's so many proofs and there's so many different ways of getting the same answer, and it all depends on the teacher. I hate to say it, it all depends on the teacher. How much detail you really need to prove something. Yeah, I've seen terrible things. What was her name for chemistry or for nursing? I think it's McKelson. Okay, thank you for the gifts, guys. I appreciate it. And thank you for tapping away. I appreciate it. I know, it's like we're all starting to die down a little bit. Okay? All right, good. So it's a blessed RN. If you scroll up and you see ACG Math Tutoring, a blessed RN for the dosage. And if you're looking for a chemistry teacher, Professor TK, she's amazing. All right. Oh, thanks for the headband. Okay. Yeah, for nursing, I don't have nursing courses, but the algebra piece, I do have a foundation of algebra course. Let me show that part. Okay. So see all my services, because I do have to wrap up in like 5 minutes. But I do private tutoring. I also can do small groups. So here's my thing. If you are college algebra and you think, hey, could we get a group together? Because most of the time you guys are learning the same things. Or you can send me what you're learning, not just a topic, like literally, these are the things that we're learning. I can pull stuff and put something together. I don't mind doing that, obviously at a price, not free. Because I love when people are like, wait, this costs money? Yeah. Yes, it does. Okay, but these are the courses that I currently have. I have my GED, my ASVAB, Acuplacer. If you're in TEAS or IBEW, like you're trying to be an electrician apprentice, and you need just the algebra components, you can also go into that foundation, the algebra. I have 2 people that passed the exam. Okay, now also, if you are taking the IBEW, you can ask if you had a disability during when you were in school. Like if you had a learning disability, if you had an IEP or a 504, you can ask for extension on that test as long as you have proof that you did have an IEP or 504. You can ask for extension, and you might be able to use a calculator for that test, because generally you are not allowed to use a calculator for that, as well as the Acuplacer. Okay. So that's an option if that's the route that you're looking at. Now, all of my courses are $147. Okay, for this month, all my courses are $147. Now, I normally do my stuff in a notebook as soon as I can get it from under this piles of papers. Okay, so normally I'll come on here, and what I do is I do some of my notes inside of my notebooks. These notebooks I design and I sell, so places for you to put your formula, place for you to put your steps, and then a second for you to do work on one side as well as the other side. So you can keep all your notes nice and neat. If you have any papers or notes or worksheets that you definitely need to remember. You can cut it, you can tape them in. If you got double stick tape, that will work even better. And then on the other side, you can summarize what's on that sheet. Now, in addition to these, I have resource pages. So right here, when you guys had problems with your factors, you didn't know what numbers to multiply, I have a factor sheet from 1 to 200 that will give you all its factors. So if I wanted to break down, I don't know, the square root of 168. So I'm going to go to 168, which is right here. And then I notice the factors of 168. So notice in red, I have 4 and 42. That's telling me that is that perfect prime combination. I'm just going to get 6 and 7, and 6 is one of those special radicals that can't really be broken down. So you have those. You have your reference sheets of what words and what operation is associated with it. You have your list of squares and square roots, as well as cube and cube roots. Someone was mentioning the difference of cubes. This could be helpful for you. Then we have our rules of integers. We have our inequalities and interval notation, as well as order of operations. We were talking about that in the US and also internationally. Then we have the exponents, linear and quadratic equations. Then we have the fractions operation, how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. A little reminder as well with the decimal operations. Make sure you line it up for addition and subtraction, but you count it up for your multiplication, okay? Then you have your place values, going from percent to decimals, fraction to decimals, arithmetic and geometric sequence and their rules, their formulas, the measure central tendencies, distance formula, graphing linear inequalities, system of equations, okay, areas and perimeter or circumference if it's a circle, Pythagorean theorem, trig functions, volume and surface area, as well as conversions, okay? So the conversions for my nurses, your guys are usually doing these conversion, this and weight, okay? Those are the two main ones that you guys see a lot of. So all of it is right here in my handy dandy notebook, okay? So right now, this is geared towards Algebra 1, pre-algebra and Algebra 1, basically Algebra and Algebra 1. And I do have another one that is coming that's focused on Algebra 2 and pre-calculus. And if you're left-handed, I got you too. This is my one and only left-handed series. So when you open it up, you got all your note pages and then all of your resources. So it is a true left-handed book. All right. Yep. Thank you, Michael. Yep, and all of my books are on sale. So if you want the left-handed book, if you want the regular book, I have some other math notebooks, as well as Audrey's notes. If you just want a copy of my notes, okay, right now I'm working on book 6, so books 1 through 5 is up and ready and available. If you open up, all of these are my notes that I've had from previous lives. I just decided to put it all into one notebook. And then one thing that you notice on the bottom, there's a QR code. If you scan that code, it will take you directly to the live that's associated with this title. So this one happened April 22nd, and we were doing matrices, adding, subtracting, and the scalar multiplication. And these were all the notes that we took, so then you can follow along. Okay, that's all this is all purpose for, to follow along. So you can use it for homeschool, you can use it for remediation, okay? And all of my notebooks, all of them are on sale for $10.29. After, so October 1st is going back up to $22.97. Yes. It is expensive because it's worth it. All right. Awesome. So think about it. And if you want to go, this is where you will go. And this is the only place that has the sale. Okay, the big A, the brown box with the smile on it. There, my books are on there for sale as well. But only this place will have the September celebration sale. Okay. Okay. Nope, all of them. Yep, and the videos on YouTube, tons. Okay, the videos for my courses, if you're interested in the courses, each of them has over 107 videos. There's practice sheets on there. I had the listing, it's somewhere underneath all these papers that I have. But if you like these coming in here, we're just doing some general stuff and breaking down. This is basically what I'm going to be doing, especially for September. I want to see. But there's going to be times I'm going to give you only like a couple sessions. And when I give you a couple problems, and then I'm going to say, all right, that's the end of the free session. If you want the paid one, the drop-ins for $5, we're going to get started. And I'll give you the link and all that fun stuff. Okay. Now, all right. So if you want to give me gifts, I would greatly appreciate it. I will take anything. Okay. If you want to do a donation of Cash App, I will take that as well. Okay. But I definitely have to get going shortly. See, Michael, you had to put it in there. Yes, I know. It is my birthday month. Yes, I'm a Libra, just in case you haven't figured it out. All right. But I'm not one of those people that are like, yeah, I want to celebrate the whole entire month. It's all about me. I was born once. I'm good. I'm good. All right. Any questions? Do I like wigs? Why? What kind of wigs? What are we doing? You gonna sell me a wig? Do you make wigs? Test with your talent. Yeah, it was definitely a pleasure. I don't know. You'll send me a birthday wig? That's interesting. Oh, as a gift? Oh. Well, if anything, message me and let's see. We'll talk about it. Because I never know. Might want to be a blonde one day. Never know. Okay. So, if there's nothing else, all right, I appreciate you. Hey, Charmaine, how are you? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely message me. Okay? Definitely message me. So again, if you guys want these things, tell me what you're interested in, because I really do not want to sit and develop all this stuff. I'm getting tired of doing that. I'll develop all these things and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I want to do it. And then all of a sudden it's like a ghost town. And I'm like, ugh. I just stayed up all these couple nights to make sure everything is situated, because that's just how I am. But if you're interested, especially the college algebra, I want to see you guys. I want to see you message me like, Audrey, I'm interested in the college algebra. Please do not message me just saying hi, because I will delete it. Okay? I'm serious. There's too many scammers. There's too many people want me to be their sugar baby. I'm like 52 years old, dude. I'm too old for sugar babies. I'm not a baby. It's been years since I've been a baby. All right? So, great. All right. So, if anything, go ahead, message me if you're interested in the college algebra. If you're interested in GED, I'm going to be working on my posts and sending things out. Send them as reminders. But this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest, basically Friday, Saturday, Sundays, and Mondays. So my Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays is going to be my usual 9:30 slots. Unless someone cancel, then I'm going to go a little bit early. But if anything, my traditional slots is at 7 p.m., but I will be on tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. working on a little bit of GED, see if anybody comes up. If not, I may come on a little bit later to help with some PSAT sample questions, and then possibly a little bit later in the afternoon, if everyone's, not all footballed out, to do a little bit more to see what we can get for the GED. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. I greatly appreciate it. This was fun and wild. So have a lovely evening. Don't scroll too long. And please be safe. Okay? Everybody's losing their damn minds, Leslie. Okay? All right. Love you all. Keep being awesome. Thank you.